So hi all, welcome to this video lecture. In this video lecture we will look at the JavaScript Object Notation, that is JSON module in Python. So JSON is a lightweight data format that's easy for humans to read and write and easy for machines to parse and generate. So JSON is commonly used to exchange data between a server and a web application or between different parts of the program. So JSON is generally text based and it's highly structured and it's language independent. So no matter whatever language you are using, you can use JSON in each and every language. It is simply used as an exchange data between a server and a web application. Okay, and the simple syntax that we use for JSON are the curly braces. Okay, so generally we represent it in curly braces and we give something like key and a value pair. Okay, this is the general syntax of the JSON. Okay, and if we have separate key value pair, okay, then we go ahead and we provide it like this, okay, in comma separation. So this is the way how JSON is represented, and JSON is very similar, quite similar to dictionaries. Okay, and that's what we are going to see, okay, in JSON module. So how we are going to import the JSON module in Python? So simply we will just type in import JSON. Okay, and for our today's demo, right, we are going to go ahead and get this URL, and within this URL we have this entire JSON present. Okay, so we will fetch this JSON and we will import it inside this particular Python module, and we will extract some of the important features from this. Okay, so for us to go ahead and import, okay, this URL, we are going to use a library from url lib dot request import the URL open. And I'm also going to import the OS module. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to type in with URL open, and I will be passing on this URL as, and I will be naming this as data, and I will simply say that I need to store this data. Okay, I will just type in data.read. I will store this data, I will read this, and I will store it in the data set. Okay, and if I go ahead and if I print the data set, you see I have got the entire JSON. Okay, this is the entire JSON. Now this JSON is in text format. Okay, if you can just see over here, this JSON is having this list, right, this third brackets over here. So this is a list. If you go ahead and if you iterate over this particular JSON, you will not be able to get the result. If I just simply say for I in dataset, right, and if I say print I, correct, if I say print I, you will just see what will happen. If you expect that you are going to get the individual this individual dictionaries over here, this individual JSONs over here, this is nothing but a list of JSON, right? So if you are going to get this individual JSONs over here, that's not exactly what's going to happen. Okay, because this entire JSON, right, this is in a text format. You see, you are not getting anything. Okay, so let me cancel this. You're not going to get anything. Why? Because this is in text format, right? So first and foremost, if you want to go ahead and work with JSON, right, we need to go ahead and convert the JSON into a dictionary. So why we need to convert it into a dictionary? Because the JSON format is very similar to a dictionary in Python, and in dictionary we can access the key value pairs. Okay, we can work with the key value pairs. So let us go ahead and let us see how to convert a JSON into a dictionary. Okay, so for us to convert, we will use the loads method over here, json.loads. Okay, and within this we are going to pass in this particular data set, and we will call this as the source. So source is now going to be my dictionary. Okay, and now if I go ahead and if I say for I in source, and if I print this I, you will now see that I will now get all the dictionaries. See, I have got all the dictionaries or individual dictionaries, because that JSON contains the list of JSON, right? It was a list of JSON. So now this source is now a list of dictionary. And when I did for I in source, so I becomes my individual dictionary, correct? Yeah. And now from this particular individual dictionary, right? Let's say I want to go ahead and fetch this name. Okay. So what I will do, since I is a dictionary, so I will simply go ahead and I will pass in the key value, key name over here, right? So name is my key over here. So if I go ahead and if I only type I of name, right, I will only get the names of all the from all the dictionaries, right? If I now go ahead and if I run this, you see I have got all the names. If I want to get the ID, I will get all the IDs. See, I've got all the IDs. There are 500 IDs, so I have got all the 500 IDs. Okay. So this is the way how we can access a particular key inside a JSON, right? So first and foremost, we convert a JSON into a dictionary, and then we can get the values using this by passing on the key value here in this individual dictionaries. Okay. Now what I want to do, if I want to go ahead and print the JSON in a proper format, right, then I again need to, what I need to do, I need to convert the dictionary into JSON. Okay. So what I will do, I will simply say format underscore JSON, and I will be storing the JSON in this particular variable. I will say JSON dot dumps. Okay. So dumps is another method which converts the dictionary into a JSON, right? So here I need to pass in the dictionary. So dictionary is going to be my source. Okay, and I will pass here indent equals to 2. So this is going to go ahead and it's going to format my JSON in a proper readable format. Okay, just like the format as you can see over here, right? In the same format, it's going to go ahead and it's going to print me the result. So if I say print format underscore JSON, you see it has given me it in proper format. Okay. Now what I need to do, obviously by populating it in this terminal, it's of no use to me. So what I want to do, I want to go ahead and I want to store this in a particular file, right? So that's why I've imported this OS module. So let us say the file name is going to be comments.json. Okay, and file path is going to be os.path.join, and I will be storing it in the current directory only. So get cwd, and I will be passing in the file name here. Okay, and what I will do over here is I'm going to say if os.path.exists, and I will be passing in the file path here, and I will be saying if this file does not exist, right, then we create this file. So I will say with open. Okay, and here I will be passing in the file path, and this will be obviously in the right format because we need to write as file, and I will simply say file.write, and within this I will be passing in the format JSON. Okay, because I want to go ahead and store the JSON inside this particular file, right? It's a JSON file. The extension, if you just see, it's .json. Okay, so with this, if I go ahead and if I run this, you see that let me remove this format JSON. If you go ahead and if you just look at this, you see the entire JSON is now present. Okay, this entire JSON is in text format, so this is entirely present in my comments.json. Okay, now one thing that I want to do, okay, that I want to go ahead and for individual, if you look at the post ID, right, for one post, for post ID 1, I have ID 1, ID 2, ID 3, right? So for post IDs, right, we have these individual IDs with us. right? For one particular post ID, if you can just see, we have different IDs. So what I actually want to do, for every post ID, I want to find out the count. I want to calculate the count of each and every post ID, right? And I want to store that in a separate JSON. Okay, so how can I do that? Okay, so to count the particular ID, right, we can import collections, or rather I would say from collections import counter. Okay, and here what I will say, I will pass as df. Let's say df is equals to counter, and within this I want to now go ahead and say that I want to go ahead and calculate the count of each and every post ID present in the JSON, right? But if I go ahead and if I work on the JSON directly, because it's text format, so it won't work. So I have to go ahead and pass in the dictionary. So which dictionary? The source dictionary. Okay, so I will say give me the item of the post ID, right, for item in source, right? So item is what? Item is the individual dictionary, and within the individual dictionary, right, we have the post ID, right? So what this counter will do, it will go ahead and it will store the count of each and every post ID, and it will keep the count in a proper dictionary. So this df is also going to be my dictionary. If I go ahead and if I print the df, you will see, you will get this. So 1 is my post ID and 5 is going to be my count. 2 is the second post ID, 5 is going to be my count. So it turns out that for each and every post ID we have 555 records each. Okay, and now what I want to do, I want to go ahead and I want to represent it in this way. Post ID is going to be there 1, and then I want to go ahead and I want to get the count. So I will say item underscore count, and I want to pass in the value over here as 5, this comma this. Okay, and for all this I want to go ahead and get the individual, I want to store it in a list of JSONs like this, right? The same format as how this one is. I want to go ahead and I want to populate it in the same format. So how will I go ahead and do that, right? So what I will do, I will say I will store it in another variable. Okay, let us say df1 is equals to, and here I will go ahead and give the curly braces, and I will say post ID, and here I will say PID, comma, here I will pass in the item underscore count, and here I will give CID for PID, comma, CID in. Now since df is my dictionary, right, in this dictionary I want to get the items. Now in dictionary you can obviously go ahead and you can just get this items method over here. What the items method will do, it will give you the key comma value pair in tuple. So if it is key comma value pair in tuple, so PID will be my key and CID is going to be my value over here. So here is going to be my PID, that is going to be my key value over here, that is 1 is going to be passed over here, and CID is going to be my value. Okay, so 5 is going to be passed over here, right? So what will happen for every for every dictionary that is present, okay, for each and every value over here, I will go ahead and I will get this I will get the list of JSONs from here. Okay, if I go ahead and if I print this df1, you see I have got this. Okay, now what I will do, I have got this in dictionary, so I will convert this in JSON, right? So I will say df2 is equals to JSON dot dumps df1 comma ident equals to 2. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and create one more file name 1 is equals to, I will say aggregate underscore count dot JSON. Okay, and I will just copy this code over here and paste it here. If not, file dot exist, and this will be your file path, file underscore path 1, that will be this, and here it will be file name 1, file underscore name 1. Okay, and here I just simply have to go ahead and replace this with this with this. Okay, and this will not be format JSON, this will be df2. Okay, now if I go ahead and if I run this, I got the aggregate.json and I got all this. Post ID 1 is 1, item underscore count is 5. So I got it in this way. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. Okay, this is the way how you can actually go ahead and work with JSON. Okay, if you want to go ahead and if you want to get the individual key, then you can pass the key value over here and you will get the value. Okay, so that is the thing. In comments underscore JSON, right, in this way, inside this you can also read it from this file, and how to read a particular how to read from a file I have already shared that I have shared that content in another video, so you can go ahead and you can watch that video. The link is at the top. Okay, so I hope you really enjoyed this session. If you did, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel, and please don't forget to press the bell icon for notification. Thank you.